Ooh, what is up, YouTube? So I've tried to record this podcast for the past 3 or 4 days, and there was a lot of issues with the microphone and like feeding back, and it was really echoey and staticky. So I've done a couple of check videos, and it sounds fine. So we're gonna get into. It's just me right now. Vincent is indisposed, and we had some conversations about doing this, and nothing really panned out to his liking. So we had to upload something this week. So I got 3 beers here. I got a Lone Star Rio Jade that I've tasted like one time before, but I don't remember what it tastes like. And then I got Shiner 1909, and I had a couple of these earlier, and it's good shit. So we're going to go off some news stories, and we're going to shoot the bull like me and Vincent usually do. But today it's just me and you. So there's no interaction with anyone. So cheers. Grab a beer, and let's do this fucking podcast. All right. So in trying to do this podcast a couple of times now, I have ran into the situation of the stories that I want to talk about. The internet is finicky on this bullshit laptop. So I can already tell you right now, one of the biggest stories that I want to talk about this week that I found out about was Troy Aikman releasing his own beer. And it's called 8. It's low calorie, low carb, 8 carbs, 8 calories. It's a light beer. But because it's Troy Aikman that's releasing it, I totally want to taste it. Because if you don't know, now you know. My oldest son is named after Troy Aikman. He is the greatest Dallas Cowboys quarterback of all time. No disrespect to Roger Staubach. But at the end of the day, Troy Aikman's got 3. So it is what it is. But the beer will be available in bars and restaurants in February, because I've read the story like 6 times trying to record this podcast and had to delete video because of extenuating circumstances. Let's put it that way. So in February, it'll be available at bars and restaurants. In March, it will be available for purchase. And I'm super stoked because I want to see what can design looks like. Like, are we going to get like a classic silver, navy, and white can with like some old school block lettering 8? Or is they're just going to go off the rails and do something completely new? I'm excited about that. And for all you Dallas Cowboys fans that live here in the Metroplex and y'all are so stoked about Yingling, and I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody else, they make Yingling. The original recipe was brewed in Pennsylvania, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So every time you drink Yingling, you're not supporting your hometown team. So go ahead and grab some Miller Lite. And if you're a Cowboys fan and you love Bud Light, I'm just going to tell you right now, Bud Light is the official beer of the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you don't already know, the official beer of the Dallas Cowboys is Miller Lite. So drink that if you're a real Cowboys fan. They brew it right here off of 35 within 15 minutes of the stadium in Arlington. Which, why are they the Dallas Cowboys if they play football in Arlington? Can anyone explain that? No? 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 They're not even in Dallas County. AT&T Stadium is located in Tarrant County. So if you want to say, no. Are they the Tarrant Cowboys? No. Are they the Arlington Cowboys? No. So why don't y'all figure that shit out? Anyways, one of the biggest beers I'm stoked about is 8 from Troy Aikman, because he's fucking Troy Aikman. 3 Super Bowls. Fuck off. Another beer I'm really excited about is from Wildacre Brewing, and I'm trying to get that's Camp Bowie, Tap Room. Let's go to beers, core beer, seasonal beer. It's seasonal, but I saw it today on Instagram, and I was super excited, and I might make a trip down tomorrow to have a couple of these. If I can find it on their website, we'll talk about it. taproom beer. That's what we need to look at. I don't care what they make and sell in stores. That's 815. Oh, that's going way back. Oh, why are they doing that? They don't want to pull it up. Let's look up grape fruit beer Wild Acre. So I just want to make sure that everyone is having an amazing new year. I hope that you wear your masks. If you feel like you need to be vaccinated, then get vaccinated. If you feel like I don't want to be vaccinated, then don't get vaccinated. I was sent home from work because my baby was exposed to COVID at daycare, and he had a fever, but I never had anything. But no lie, I tested positive, but that was days ago now, and I felt fantastic the entire time. So, if you want to get caught up in it, then get caught up in it. If you want to stay home because you feel like you're making the world safe, then do that. But if you feel like I just want to live my life and I could give two fucks about let's go Brandon, then do your thing too. Like it's hard to sit on that rocker and pretend that I know everything. Dr. Fauci's become the biggest fucking joke in the world because at the beginning, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then now he's like, oh, you need to lose a little bit of weight. That'll help you. Your body will be able to sustain the sickness and you'll be able to live through it longer. Why don't you tell people that at the beginning? Any given day, if you're going to get the flu, hey, if you're 30 pounds less than you weigh right now, normally you're going to be in better shape than you are right now. So, I'm going to use me as an example. So I walk around close to 265 to 270 all the time. That's my normal weight. But if I lost 30 pounds, I'm pretty sure my immune system would function better. My weight would be way less. I'd probably make better choices when it came to eating the food. And to get to that weight, I have to go to the gym more. And now Dr. Fauci says, that's a good idea. Bro, why didn't you say that shit fucking 2 years ago? So, that's just where I'm at with that. What is the name of this beer? I'm not finding it. They just take me back to Coors. It's on Instagram, but I record this on my iPhone, so I can't look at my phone while I'm on this podcast because that's where the recording happens. Seasonal beers, taproom only beers. Maybe it'll be here. That's still 8.5. Oh, but Wild Acre did have this amazing beer called Odinsight, which I'm a little bit French and there's some background with that. And Odinsight means a little bit more to me than it does to most people. But I'm just saying, Odinsight, in a concept of a beer, it was a stout. It was heavy. It was really strong. Oh, Wild Acre core beers, Texas Blonde, Imperial Pineapple. That sounds good. T-Hawk had that before. Double T-Hawk had that before. Billy Jenkins Bach. It's about those Jenkins brothers. Agave Americana. Fuck off. That's a terrible beer. I do not like it. Pickle Hard Seltzer. I'm not a seltzer guy. I don't drink seltzers. I don't look for them. I don't want them. So, let me finish this beer. We'll open up another Shiner, and we'll just keep on rolling with this bullshit. Like I said, this is Lone Star Rio Jade, which Rio means river, and I'm not 100% sure what jade means in English other than jade. So, yeah, I mean, it's easy drinking. It's a Lone Star type beer. So don't wig out and think you're going to get some wild shit that you're going to be like, oh, that was fucking amazing. No, it's a Lone Star type beer. Lone Star Light, Rio Jade. The three beers that Lone Star makes and that are in solid production that you can buy 12 months out of the year. That's it. That's all there is. So don't ever think that, oh, I'm going to get something special. No, you're not. That's Lone Star. You ain't get nothing special. Taproom marketing. Let's see if we can just find the name of this beer. These are just people's names. Show me. I don't want to log into Instagram on this bullshit. Okay, so we talk about trade, man. There's a grapefruit beer that releases tomorrow. Tomorrow will be January 15th, and it's only at the brewery. And it's a grapefruit. I want to say it's like Grapefruit Explosion IPA or some dumb shit like that. But it's going to be over the top, extra citrusy, and extra IPA-ish. So if you go tomorrow, maybe you see me there. And you see this guy with this face, maybe you buy me a beer. If you don't go and you don't see me there, then hey, that's cool too. I ain't mad at you. We got shit to do on Saturdays. It ain't always about just drinking random beers. So we're here right now, and one of my other favorite breweries in Fort Worth is Cowtown Brewery. Right there, it's down there by the Sonic on Belknap or whatever. So let's just pop in and see. Maybe I pop in there tomorrow and grab a beer. They had, that's one of the beers that we featured here when we did Always Flexin', when I was like just completely nicotine deprived and didn't want anything to do with drinking that day. And I powered through it, and we recorded a podcast, and it turned out okay, if I'm being honest. It wasn't the greatest one we ever had. But, you know, there's not always a lot of great ones. I'm not trying to order food online. About. Okay, I guess we're going to about. I mean, it is what it is, man. This laptop's really old, and I don't care about Cowtown. I've been there multiple times. Oh, they got one in South Lake now? Oh, shit. Okay, Cowtown's moving on up. We got a brewery here in Fort Worth and in Cowtown. So let's just talk about some of the main staples on the menu. BA Stampede, it's $8 for, I want to say it's a 12-ounce glass. Rye whiskey barrel aged for 12 months. Oh shit, that might not be an $8 glass. Oh, it is $8. It does say $8. BA Stampede, never had that one before. Cold Fort Worth beer, $7. American Premium Lager, 4.5 ABV, silver medal for 2021 U.S. Open Beer Championships. Cold Fort Worth beer is exactly what it says. It's a cold beer created in Fort Worth, and it's easy sipping. It's easy to enjoy. 4.5%. Fuck off. I mean, for a beer made here, hometown local, enjoy it all day. But let's roll down to some wilder shit. And if we go back to the BA Stampede, that's just 11%. So don't plan on drinking 2 or 3 of those and driving home, because you're going to be fucked. Okay, so here we go. Everyone's doing it, which that's a fucking cool name for a beer, if I'm being honest. Oh, why would I drink that? Come on, bro. Everyone's doing it. Like, it's fucking that peer pressure bullshit. But it's $8, and it's an East Coast style hazy IPA, which usually the East Coast IPAs are not really hazy, but it says East Coast at 7.2 ABV. One of my favorite beers from this brewery is the Flux Capacitor. Shout out Doc from Back to the Future. It's a German-style double bock. It's 8% ABV. And if you drink too many of those, yeah, you're going to think you're going back in time. But probably not. Night in Vienna, 6.5. The Vienna-style lager. I think I had that one time. It wasn't really my jam. Highbrow is a German-style Dortmunder Export Light Lager. It's 5.5. It's got some awards on it, but I'm part German. I really don't drink German beers, if I'm being honest about it. Horse with No Name. That's a good fucking name. It's an Indian Pale Lager, it's not an IPA. It's an Indian Pale Lager. 7.3. And, you know, fuck it. I mean, it's not a bad beer. I've had it multiple occasions. And, you know, with a name like that, how are you not going to order it? One of my favorite beers from this brewery is Jeff Goldblum Noises. It's $8. It's an East Coast style hazy IPA, 7.8 ABV. And it's just good shit. So definitely, if you ever pop into Cowtown Brewery, my first selection would be the Jeff Goldblum noises, because Jeff Goldblum, hello, good guy, The Fly, Jurassic Park, the World According to Jeff Goldblum on Disney Plus. Fuck it, he's a cool dude, and if they named a beer after him, fuck it, go buy one. La Mera Hora. I can't remember. I think it means at this moment. If I'm not being, if I'm thinking, it's a Mexican style lager. It's 5%, $6 for one of those on a normal pour. And I know I've drank that beer a couple of times, and I just can't remember. I want to say it's at this moment in time is what La Mera Hora means. And then we jump on to Nick's Cold Black Heart, and that's an Imperial Stout, 9.5. If you're a Guinness drinker or you're a dark beer drinker where your shit looks like it's fucking oil that sits like a fucking head on oil in a glass, then hey, Nick's Cold Black Heart's probably your jam, and just do it. Fuck it, why not? And then we got Odell, not Adele, Odell, which is a Irish red ale, 5.3 ABV, and I've never had that one before. But if you're into Irish red ales, then maybe that's your jam. Then we got the Pale Rider West Coast style IPA, 6.4 ABV. One of the funniest fucking beers they ever produced, because they named it, this was Rhinestone Cowboy. And it's a German style Kosh, 6.2 ABV. And it's reasonably priced, $6 a glass. So fuck it. I'm a Rhinestone Cowboy. I only remember that from High School High with that white dude. I never remember his name. Rock Island Red, fuck yes. The only reason I say fuck yes is because where the brewery is located and how close it is to Rock Island. If you've never been to Fort Worth and you didn't live here long, Rock Island is a solid establishment in Fort Worth. And people who live here know what you're talking about. So that's just one of those things that it's like, hell yeah, bro. Because you named it that, you get way more respect as a brewery. Not just as a beer, as a brewery. We'll run through the other two, the normal ones that stay on tap. Spirit World is a raspberry black currant fruited sour. I'm not a sour guy. Fuck pickles. How about that? I'll put salt in the Corona maybe, but fuck Corona because Modelo's better. But I'm not a sour beer guy. It's never been my thing. Martin House puts a lot of sours out. Salted Lady, the pickle beers and all that shit, and there's people that love them to death, but your boy Rob is not about that life. So if you're into sour beers, Spirit World, go see how it is, but that's not my jam. And then Stampede is their staple beer that's year round, West Coast style double IPA, 9.4 ABV. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're drinking anything that's 9.4 and you have more than 3, call your Uber, call your Lyft. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. And also, I'm just being helpful. Don't do that. Don't try to drive home off of 9.4 if you have like 3 or 4 of them. If you get 2 and you feel like you're okay and you ate something, do your thing, man. But if you hit 3 on an empty stomach and you're going to hit 4 and then try to drive home, you're just asking for that DWI. There's computers on the fritz. Oh. So we did shout outs to Cowtown. Shout outs to Wild Acre. Let me finish this Lone Star beer, Rio Jade. It's made in Austin, Texas. The national beer of Texas is Lone Star, if I'm being honest. So you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Just fucking down it. Finish the beer, you crush it, and you throw it on the floor. And now we're going to the Shiner 1909. I had 2 of these earlier when I was trying to record this podcast. And extenuating circumstances made me delete all that bullshit. So here we are. But Shiner 1909 Heritage Lager. It is, where's the ABV? It was on here. I already read it earlier. It wasn't that high. I want to say it was at like 4.5. If you look at the rotation, or you can Google it and whatever you want to do. But this is a day drinker. It's not any stronger than like a fucking Budweiser or something. But Shiner 1909, made right here in Texas, in Shiner, Texas. So, do you think, Shiner? Badass beers. I don't think I've ever drank anything for Shiner that I didn't like. Hold on, let me think. I've been able to drink everything as long as I was in the mood for it, for sure. And some people are like, "Are you in the mood for beer?" I'm gonna tell you right now. You can go back on these podcasts and listen to sometimes when that one episode when we drank that Always Flexa from Cowtown. Man, that was the worst day that I could have tried to drink that beer. Short on sleep, had a bad day at work, and fuck, it was just not a day to try to take something in like that. And people were like, "Well, beer is beer." No, it's not. Yes, I'm old enough to enter Shiner country. Beer is not beer, because back in the day, like 15, 20 years ago, beer was beer. So you could get like Budweiser, and you get Coors Banquet. What else? You could get like Miller Genuine Draft. You could get beers like that, and those are just full flavored beers, and they were close to about 5%. And when you look at a Bud Light, a Coors Light, a Miller Light, or a Michelob Ultra, they're close to like 4.5. So they're like 0.5% down, but less calories, less carbs, all that bullshit. I get it. Like, I get why people drink the light version of the full body beer. But now we have beers like this. This is Shiner 1909, a heritage lager, and it is 4.5. But if you drink 6 of these versus 6 Budweisers or 6 Miller Genuine Drafts, your buzz is going to be different. I'm just saying, because it's a craft beer and it's not commercialized, and they put more effort into it. Like a Shiner Bock, Ziegenbock. Those are, they're fucking solid Bock beers. But they're not always going to hit just like the random ass beer you pick up. Oh, fucking Shiner Premium beer, which is not a Bock beer. It's a lager, and it comes with a different label. Shiner Cheer, completely different. Shiner Sea Salt and Lime, completely different. Shiner Black Lager, completely different. Shiner Wise and Easy, completely different. I mean, you can go into some of the Shiner beers and just be like, what are we even doing right here? They got a toasted marshmallow beer. But I always tell people, if you've never drank craft beer before, don't just jump into it and think that you're going to be able to hold your own against it, because craft beers go different. And people will be like, well, Shiner's not a craft beer. Hey, man, we live in Texas. Shiner is a craft beer. It was not always readily available, and we could only get Shiner in bottles. And then we got it in cans. And then finally it was on draft everywhere. And if you go to somewhere and they don't have Shiner on draft, fuck those guys. Because Shiner is a fucking national treasure in Texas. Okay, well, they didn't have the beer on the Shiner website I want to talk about. So we're running into playoff weekend. Let me pull up. I know the Eagles play the Bucks, and I know the Cowboys play the 49ers. But let me pull it up, and then we can all talk shit together. Okay, so Saturday's 3:30 wild card game is Raiders and Bengals. And then after that, it turns into Patriots Bills. So in that first game, oh man, I feel like the Bengals are going to pull that one off. And the second game, I feel like the Bills are going to knock the Patriots out, and Bill Belichick will go home and cry like a little baby because he let Tom Brady leave New England. So let's bump it on over into Sunday's games. The noon game is the Eagles-Buccaneers. I love my Eagles. But our team is not built to beat the Buccaneers. And that shit sucks. There's so many other positions we could have ended up in, but we ended up playing the Bucs. I got that game with the Buccaneers up 10 at the end of the game. And then we bump on down to the 49ers and Cowboys, and I got the 49ers up 3 to finish that game. Dak's going to come close, and he's not going to finish the game. He's not going to finish the win. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction. Not looking at Vegas odds, not looking at splits or spreads or none of that bullshit. Just me looking at the teams on the fucking internet, and the screen's all shaky. Then we'll bump into Sunday night. So Sunday night, 7:15 is Steelers-Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win that, and Big Ben goes into retirement and doesn't play football ever again. And then we'll bump into Monday night, which is Cardinals-Rams. Cardinals-Rams is a hard one for me because I love Kyler Murray, but I've seen the flaws in his game, and I love Matthew Stafford. He's with the Rams, right? I want to say that the Rams are going to win that game by a touchdown. Could be wrong. It is what it is, man. But that's just my prediction off the top of my head. That's what I would call it. But as we all know, the entire process of the playoffs is going to run through Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't go to sleep quietly. And that's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a fucking hard road through Green Bay for anybody to get through it. If you're not Green Bay, it's going to fucking suck for you. Oh, I'm going to take my shoes off. I don't even know why I got these on. I should put my Crocs on. All right. Oh, so this beer's almost gone. This is a segment that me and Vincent have talked about way too many times. But we talked about doing our views on a news report, and we were going to call it 817. So that meant that we were looking at news reports, and we were going to do the 8th story, the 1st story, and the 7th story. But it's just easier if we just do 817. We just do Fort Worth. Oh, it's 4 days ago. Do I want to read that? Let me hold on. Okay, we'll read that. No, we're not. Because if you watch this podcast and you don't live in Fort Worth, it doesn't fucking matter to you. Oh, okay, this is interesting. This guy has an eye patch in the picture. So let's read about it. Granbury founder of far-right Oath Keepers group charged with... Okay, let me scroll down. Man, I don't even know how to read that fucking word. Seditious conspiracy in connection with January 6th. We already know what you're talking about. Just say the insurrection, like all the media have named it. Elmer Stewart Rhodes III becomes the highest-ranking member of an extremist group to be arrested in the deadly insurrection. How many people died during the insurrection? No, like, I'm not just bullshitting. Like, tell me, how many people really died in that? I don't know, you'd call it an insurrection. That it finally fucking pisses me off. Federal authorities arrested a Granbury man on Thursday and charged him with seditious conspiracy for his alleged role in the January 6th attack at the U.S. Capitol. He was 56 years old, was arrested a little before noon in Little Elm, Texas, federal officials say. I don't want to see your pop-up, so make that shit go away. Rhodes is reportedly to be the founder and leader of a far-right Oath Keepers militia group. I mean, did he shoot anybody that day? Was he even there? 10 other people, including another Prosper, Texas man, 37-year-old Roberto Minuta, were also charged with seditious conspiracy on Thursday in connection with the attack on January 6th in 2021, when authorities said members of the extremist Oath Keepers group came to Washington intent to stopping the certification of Joe Biden's victory. According to the federal indictment, Rhodes and others began in late December 2020 using encrypted and private messaging apps to coordinate, plan, and travel armed to Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2021. Among their plans, the indictment said was organized into teams that were prepared and willing to use force and to transport firearms and ammo into the D.C. area. The court documents outlines that Rhodes texts his followers, "We aren't getting through this without a civil war." I mean, yeah, maybe he texted some people that, but did they all fight in the war? And was he even in location? Per the indictment, Rhodes and others also allegedly recruited members to participate in the conspiracy, organized trainings to teach and learn paramilitary combat tactics, brought and provided thousands of dollars and paramilitary gear, weapons and supplies, breached the Capitol and attempted to take control of Capitol grounds, and continued to plot after January 6th to prevent the lawful transfer of presidential power. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this dude, if there's someone willing to go to this level, let's go, Brandon. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I'm not going to get too heavy into this story because, god damn, man. What has Joe Biden done for you? What has he done for you? Trump pissed a lot of people off, but what has Biden done for you? You want someone that pisses you off, or someone that like gets some shit done occasionally? 5 hours ago. Okay. There we go. This is more what I'm talking about. Just reading news stories from Fort Worth. 6 teens facing multiple charges after alleged Tarrant County crime spree. You know, if they robbed like 12 stores or something, it was a crime spree. But if they robbed like 2 stores, let's tone this shit down a little bit. And why, when I pull it up, they're showing shit from the insurrection. Why are we showing shit from the insurrection? Come on, get the fuck out of here. Show me the real story. Police said the first incident, a carjacking happened on January 10th at 5:38 a.m. Lauren De La Rosa, 19, allegedly asked the victims for a ride to a location near John T. White and Loop 820. Also, that's the worst side of town. I grew up over there, so don't ask people for rides, and also fucking burn off. Once there, the victim was then ambushed by multiple male suspects who were armed with guns. This was later identified as Aaron Martinez, 18, Fabian Almanza at 17, Justin Tover at 17, Keanu Woods at 19, and a 16-year-old male juvenile allegedly robbed the victim of his clothes, wallet, and keys to his car and home. Police said they stole the victim's car and burglarized his home. Of various items were later stolen, including a handgun. I don't know if y'all ever know. John T. White is not the greatest neighborhood in the world. I grew up off of Brentwood Stair in John T. White. And everybody lives over there. That's my boys. But also, don't try to raise a family over there. And I've seen most people be getting some shit off of Meadowbrook. Most people getting shit off of John T. White, Brentwood Stair, Rosedale. Like, this is not a good neighborhood. So, they're kind of puffing this story up a little too much for me. But let's just continue with it. During the course of the investigation, Fort Worth Police Department investigators were informed that these suspects were also involved in a robbery that happened in the North Richland Hills area on the same day. Police said De La Rosa was dropped off at a robbery location in North Richland Hills in a stolen car during the Fort Worth robbery. The male suspects assaulted another victim at his home in North Richland Hills, according to police, and stole his car. Investigators received information that the two stolen vehicles were at a home on Avenue L in Fort Worth. Hey, why are we talking about Meadowbrook and all that shit, and we're not bringing up Avenue L? Avenue L is located in Stop 6 and Poly, in that side of town. So don't just put John T. White, Brentwood Stair, Woodhaven, and all that shit in the mix. Go ahead and bring up Avenue L as being in fucking Poly territory, because this is bad reporting. Like, I live here. I grew up here. I know here. Officers made traffic stops on both vehicles as they left the home. Further investigating revealed the suspects robbed another male victim at La Grand Plaza in Fort Worth on January 5th and in Hearst on November 2021. Detectives said they believed the victim in those robberies were specifically targeted. Officers recovered multiple weapons from the suspects, including the handgun stolen in Fort Worth on January 10th. The end of the story. There's more. That's the end of the story. Hey, man. There's a reason people don't live in certain sides of town. I'm just going to tell you that right now. When I grew up in Woodhaven Apartments off of John T. White and Brentwood Stair, you could open the window at night, open the blinds, and look down, and there was street fights. There was AKs going off in the middle of the night. There was dudes that just ready to throw down. And what sucks is, I love that side of town. That's where I grew up. Like, still got boys down that way. We grew up over there, and we don't hate it for nothing, because that's where we were born and raised. And it just sucks that this is the mentality of that side of town now. And to try to make it better, I mean, you're talking about becoming a mass vigilante like Daredevil or Punisher or something, going in there and starting to murk dudes left and right. And I really don't think you're ever going to get into a better situation on that side of town unless you're willing to do that. If you're not willing to step in and do your own thing and piss a lot of people off, drug dealers, sex traffickers, everything that goes on that side of town, it all happens. It happens everywhere. And if you're not willing to put your foot down and be that asshole that comes in and say, I'm going to do something about it, and then be on the streets on a daily basis, like I feel like some detectives should actually be, if you're not willing to do that, then fuck off. It's not going to get any better. I'm not one of those dudes that's going to sit here and tell you that Black Lives Matter, because I'm going to sit here and tell you that all lives matter. I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood. There was me and another Mexican kid there. And we had boys there. We had dudes that were ride or die. I don't know about the other dude, but I did. I had dudes that were ride or die, had my back, thick and thin, no matter what came up. And it's just one of them things. Some people want to fluff it down and pretend like it don't matter, but it matters. If you got boys in that, you been in it, you heard it, you seen it, it's different than just reading on a fucking news story. We got people moving here from California, and none of them know what the fuck's going on here. And that's straight up. They pay way too much for houses. But also, when I saw this one, hit me with that bread. And the Mavericks are losing. God dang, man. How much worse can this night get? It's 9:45. Don't know what time we started recording. I need drip. Oh, was there anything else I really wanted to talk about in this podcast? Really, really wanted to talk about. I'm going to tell you right now, I miss Vincent being here. This is not my chair. That's my chair. But when I set the camera up, the sun was out, so I shifted everything this way. But I really wish Vincent was here. But it's cool. I'm not mad at Vincent. Vincent's got to take care of his own, and he's got to do his own jam. So it is what it is. And put in the comments if you got that one person that's always got your back. That one person that, man, she can be fucking thick and thin, and nobody wants to hang out with you, but you can hit that one person up and they're like, I'll be there, bro. And you know what you do after you say that? If you come in and say you know that one person, you buy that motherfucker a beer and you say cheers to our relationship. Because normally, Vincent's my main man. Vincent don't fucking back out on me. Vin DeJarin, fuck off, homeboy. I'm not gonna tell you I love you, but I love you, bro. For sure. And that's all day. And it's lovely, Kenna. Yeah, I love you too, Kenna. I'm glad you're always there for Vincent and to pick my drunk ass up occasionally. I don't want to make that a habit though. I'm working on it. See, I'm here and it's not even 10 o'clock yet. I'm here at the house. Decided I'd take my drunk ass home. Alright, let's see if there's any fucking interesting news stories. You know what? Let's just type in some random shit. Because after talking to that drunk lady that one day at the liquor store saying that people get murdered behind the Walmart, I'm kind of like, oh, is this a real thing? Ooh. I ain't heard bad mouth the police. Oh, they have my back. So I ain't gonna even talk about that. Alright. If this ever loads, we'll talk about it. But I just want y'all to know, I back the blue. I respect the cops. A couple of weeks ago, when I got pulled over for drinking and driving, I gave that cop the full story, and his response was, do you got somebody to come pick you up and take your truck home? And I thank that dude from the bottom of my heart, because that shit could have ruined my life and my career. And he didn't know at the time. He figured it out later when I was talking to him. But he's that dude was my fucking savior. And there's a lot of cops that ain't about that life. They just want to hit you up with that bullshit. So I ain't mad at y'all cops that do y'all's fucking job, but I'm extremely thankful for the officer that let me get my car picked up and let someone take me home. I owe that dude my life. And if he ever needs anything and he ever sees this, I got you, bro. Alright. Fort Worth, Texas. This is a news story out of the Star Telegram. During a second consecutive year of spasms of gun crime at Fort Worth, more people were internationally killed by another person in the city by 2021 than in any year since 1994. I live in Fort Worth. A lot of people don't know this, but in the 90s, we were Murderworth. That's what we were nicknamed by police officers and judges and everything, because we were the murder capital of the United States. I won't say the world, but of the United States. Fort Worth had more murders than anywhere else. Oh, let's continue on the story. With 118 homicide victims, Fort Worth struggled to tame exceptional violence and the attendant misery. Okay, that word doesn't fit there. And I know I'm reading that right. An explanation of the 27-year record high and an understanding of why similar homicides increase have occurred elsewhere in the county is a focus of unsettling study in criminology circles. In 1986, Fort Worth recorded 202 homicides. It's a record, as crack cocaine sales. I can't read that word. I don't even know what that says. And that's what I'm saying. In the 90s, well, you say 1986, but I wasn't born until 89. But I know in the 90s we were the murder capital of the world, because I got too many homeboys that left Fort Worth to go to prison and other places, and we were Murderworth. The motivations of criminal killings last year were familiar. Fights, arguments, altercations, disputes, rage, others occurred during robberies of drugs and were fueled by gang and domestic conflict, police said. Alright, man, we got some gangs here. Everybody's got gangs, but apparently we got more than everybody else. Some of the victims were strangled with their killer and some slain as the assailant attempted to shoot someone else. Yeah, I mean, everybody's not a good shot. They don't practice. As she steered her car around an apartment building on an evening in April, Haley Watts could have not known of the danger in her path ahead. Watts was 18 and launching her adult life. Gunfire erupted around Watts and her boyfriend in the passenger seat as an assailant fired upon another target. Watts died in the parking lot. God damn, man. I mean, Fort Worth is home, but fuck. That shit is depressing. Hey, you know what? Shout out to Haley Watts and her family. R.I.P. Haley Watts. I hope you rest in peace. I hope your family has found peace. And I hope they find the piece of shit that was shooting at somebody that he didn't even know what the fuck he was shooting at. Because that's fucking bullshit. Alright, in 2020, 115 people were slain in Fort Worth. In 2019, there were 71 homicide victims. Until 2020, there had not been a triple-digit homicide toll in a year for Fort Worth since 1995. Like I said, murder worth. When there were 108 victims. That was the last time in 95. But we got that fucking nickname. And if you don't believe it, ask anybody who's been to prison in Texas. Because they'll back me up on that murder worth bullshit. Deceased population increased to 460,000 people between 1994 and 2020. The per capita homicide rate was 28 for 100,000 people in 1994 and 13 people for 100,000 people in 2021. Well, just because we got more people here doesn't mean it's any safer with that many people fucking dead. And that's just being fucking honest. The city's population has increased by 460,000 people between 1994 and 2020. I just read that. Homicides in the U.S. in 2020 increased nearly 30,000. All right, this is a lot of fucking reading. I'm not in the mood for it. So I'm going to close this laptop. I'm going to let y'all know right now. In the great state of Texas, as long as you ain't got no bullshit on your record, go buy you a gun and protect yourself. And I would tell that to anyone who lives in any state, in any country, all over the world. You can't expect the police to show up when someone pops up at your door. The police may not be there. They could be miles away. They could be minutes, hours away in some places. So do your thing. Protect yourself and your family. If you don't like guns, go buy a bow and arrow. Go buy a crossbow. Buy a taser. Whatever makes you feel better. But protect your family, because that's what's most important. Fuck, man. Nothing's more important than family. And that's the fucking truth. I've been drinking too long. And I love all you guys. But we're going to sit here and we're going to finish the rest of that beer. And I'm going to vape. And I'm also going to talk about... I'm going to talk about respecting your bartenders and your servers. You know, in this industry that this life that we live in, if you got a bartender, take care of them. If they're taking care of you, we went out the other night, and this dude took extremely good care of us at Buffalo Burrows in downtown Fort Worth. And when someone at the table pulled out the card for tipping, it turned me off, because I don't tip you off of what I think I owe you. I tip you off of what you earned. I tip you off of what I owe you when you're a terrible fucking server. But when you're good, you're good. And I'll pay you that extra. And that's the way it should be. I know some people from up north, they're like, oh, we got to tip him 17%. Fuck that. 10% is the starting rate. If you're an amazing server, then you bump up. But if you're a mediocre server, my drink goes empty, I don't see you throughout the meal, you get 10% at best if I'm in a good mood. If I'm in a bad mood, you might not get shit. But today's day and age, if you got a dude that's, he's hitting you up, your beer's like third empty. You want another one? Okay. All right, you're gonna get a tip. Oh, was the food good? Do you need more chips? You just went up. Do you want dessert? Is there anything else we can get you before you close out? Oh, you just went up. If you're that asshole that's like, you ready to go? When I still need more chips and more beer? Fuck off. You're lucky if you get the 10%. It's not my responsibility to teach you how to wait tables. It's my responsibility to take care of you when you take care of me. You take care of me, I'll take care of you. I'm not going to give you $1,000, but maybe 50 to 100 if you're doing your shit right. But if you forget about me, oh, high is the head that wears the crown. And you ain't going to get much of nothing. All right, this podcast has gone too long. We've talked about tipping people, Troy Aikman's beer, Wildacre, Cowtown Brewery, fucking Murderworth. God damn, this shit went off the rails. Was not intending to talk about all this. But cheers to you guys. I love you. I hope you subscribe, share this shit. This tattoo was done by my boy Low, Denton Highway. Hit up my Instagram. You can find his info. What else? This is being cared for by protectyourinc.com. Use my discount, Itsguerillarob, with gorilla spelled with the UE, not O, because fuck the O. And it's 25% off for life. So anytime you ever order anything, put that discount code in and take advantage of it. And I love you guys. Drink beers, drink vodka, drink whiskey, whatever you're doing, drink and have a good time. And at the end of the day, you answer to you. If you're drinking too much, tone it down. If you're not drinking enough, tone it up. But anyways, shout out YouTube. Holla at you guys later.